Alright, so we're back in the world of the first Descendant, and I'm a little sick, so pardon my voice. But today I just wanted to talk to you guys about Ajax, as well as show you my 3 builds that I made for him, because, you know, Ajax just got some changes. And a lot of you actually came to my channel over the last couple of days and asked me to put together some builds with the new body enhancement, and wanted to know my thoughts and a few other things. So I decided, hey, why not? Though I don't really want to play him right now or make builds for him, I'll do it because a lot of you did want to, want to see it. Now, the reason for that has nothing to do with Ajax himself. Inherently, Ajax is a really good character. With the recent change, he got a pretty good buff in my opinion. And then, of course, once we eventually get some content for him, he's going to be really good. Unfortunately, due to how the game is designed right now, you don't really need someone who can put up a shield or anything. You need someone who can kill really fast. That's just the way the game is. But once the mega dungeons come on in December, I expect Ajax to really come into himself and we start to really see him like grow. So I'm going to attempt to try to do it one more time in this video and reveal my build, just so you guys know what I'm using for the body enhancement build. But yeah, let's dive right on in. Alright, so now we're on the build section, and let's talk about body enhancement and give you my honest thoughts on what it does and how good it is. What it does now is it increases your HP, defense, and max shield, and using a skill fully restores your void energy. However, skills are more cooldown, they cost more. The increase was like 10 MP, if I'm not mistaken. We can just look at it. It's like 10 MP as well as like 10 cooldown. It's really nothing. Sentiment from what I perceive to be the average player is, the average Ajax players is, we lost HP and therefore it's nerfed, but we are going to ignore all the amazing things that come with the build. And the pure amazing thing that comes with this is now you can instantly give yourself one of the best damage buffs in the entire game at will. So really unfortunate that the community refuses to accept and use his tools, because honestly Ajax has some of the best tools available to him, but the community seems to be obsessed with HP rather than actually using his skills. Now quickly, I want to go over why the change is so good. If you see this mod here, this is a very thought out mod. From what I can tell, most in-game shooting based descendants, Ajax is a shooting based descendant when he's in the boss situation, uses this because firearm attack by 15% is such a massive number. Inherently, like I said, almost every Glade, almost every Enzo, every in-game build who have access to this typically will use this because it's such a massive damage increase. Keep in mind the number, 15% firearm attack. When your shield is enhanced, you give 10% firearm attack to anyone standing in it. You have the ability to do this now with almost no effort. With the build that I have, it costs about 13 mana to use any of these 2 skills, and you can instantly go into this skill and give yourself inherently 25% firearm attack. That is such an insane number when you have shot focus as well as this. The trade-off that you lost was a bit of HP. I know some of you are really obsessed with having like 50k HP. I still have yet to see a reason why a single player wants 50,000 HP. The most comments I've seen so far is because it makes me a tank. Now, I kind of want to address that because that's the most frustrating thing I hear in this game, that it makes you a tank. First off, in order to be a tank, you need one thing that defines a tank in the game. That is not having high HP, that is not having high defense. What makes you a tank is having the ability to pull aggravation from allies to yourself. That is the defining trait. A tank cannot have like good defense. They could not have high HP. We've seen evasion tanking. We've seen plenty of other like roles that function as a tank. But one thing that they need to have in order to be a tank is to pull aggro. There's no aggro system. So all the players who keep saying the reason why I love playing Ajax with 50k HP because I tank is you're not a tank. Anyway, enough of my lecture. Sorry for all the players who actually do want to learn Ajax. But overall, my opinion on body enhancement is you got a massive amount of damage increase, something that Ajax super suffers from. You lost a little bit of HP, 10k HP. Let's say you lost 20k HP. You didn't even need 20k more HP, by the way. You gain a good defense spread. You gain a good shield increase, which shield is so good that almost no one uses, sadly, on Ajax. It's actually pathetic. And now, you know, you get 100% uptime on this ability, which is absolutely insane. And then on your Void Leap, you have the ability to make sure you always have shield regeneration. Of course, these things aren't amazing against Gluttony, but you know what? No shield is amazing against Gluttony. You should not be tanking Gluttony. Like, that's crazy to me that people think that they should be tanking Gluttony. For a mobbing build, we made some adjustments. I think it is marginally better. We got more damage, we got more range, and we got, I would say, comparable mana efficiency, if that makes sense. So, so your cooldowns are going to be better, so, which is kind of crazy. So we have Void Explosion. This one is going to give you charges of, like, Void Explosion. Well, I'll just show you. It'll give you charges of it, and now you can do multiple times, and it makes your punch stronger, but you don't care about the punch, basically. It's not good. And then you can use it more, and ideally what you're wanting to do, and I didn't explain this in the last video, by the way, because we use multi-talented, I'll show you. This gives us dimensional stuff, and it has a cooldown 20% for 5 seconds. So ideally what you want to do is lead with it, and you see how I have the swiftness buff, and I can just keep spamming it because the cooldown is so low, right? And so you're gonna just basically keep cycling that out so you can have really high cooldowns and stuff. That's how it works. I should explain that in the last video, but I didn't, but I'm sure you guys understand that. Anyway, we're gonna use Void Explosion. We're using Nimble Fingers for the cooldown. We swapped this to maximize range. We lose a little bit of power, and that's fine because we put focus on tech in, which gave us a lot of tech skill power. I goofed. I was talking to someone and I accidentally put a V slot here, and I'm not putting another one slot here. Ideally, you probably want to go with like non-attribute. So this should have been like focus on non-attribute, but I put a V here. Just M is more versatile than a V slot or A slot. I don't know why I keep calling it a V slot. So ideally you want to put focus on non-attribute or non-attribute specialist if you want a little bit more damage, but I think the cooldown is a little bit more valuable for consistency. We got time distribution for more cooldown and HP. We have max MP, MP collectors, because this is our major way of sustaining mana. We're using Enlightenment. This is the change. We took away the thing that gave us, I believe I had skill cost reduction here, and we went with a better base mana pool, because to me it felt like it was better to have a better base mana pool and build around this anyway. Like ideally you don't get a bunny in your party and kill everything, because like if someone kills everything, then you're kind of screwed because you're very reliant on MP collector. But you got like other things from like the seasonal thing that gives you mana that kind of makes it okay, but whenever that's not available, you know, having this is actually really good. I like the extra mana. You can go with skill cost though if you don't want it here, by the way. Multi-talented, this is going to be one of our biggest cooldown things, and even if you don't do this tech right, you'll get tech, the tech bonus, and it'll give you range and power modifier, so you'll get a lot of damage. So no matter what you do with Ajax, it's still going to be good, but ideally you want to use the swiftness cooldown because it's the best, right? It's really good. We went with HP amplification for a little bit more HP than the normal one. Skill expansion because we wanted more range. We went with defense because we want to be a little defensive. This is a mobbing build, guys, so HP defense don't matter too much because you're not putting up your shield, you're just blowing them up. You just don't want to die. But since the cooldown's so low on these things when you're playing, it doesn't matter, right? Everything just dies anyway, so defense and HP is not that important. I mean, you still have a lot, but it's not that important. And then we have focus on tech, and I'll just look at the stats real quick. Anyway, you're going to be using Slayer here. And these are the stats. MP recovery out of combat with max HP. Max MP is actually really big with HP recovery modifier. Defense and MP recovery modifier, and then max shield and shield recovery modifier. This is a really good spread. I'd like this to be gold, but it's fine. And we have 40,000 defense with 13,000 almost HP. A mobbing build, guys. You don't need 40,000 HP to mob. They don't deal damage to you. Please don't put a lot of HP. Just get more damage. We're using the reactor that gives you cooldown and cost. You could get like more power boost ratio would be better, but I don't have that. I actually literally farmed for an hour last night, could not get one. But yeah, you want to get like power boost ratio or something like that, and then ideally with the secret garden. The reason why, and I'm gonna show the secret garden quickly. Rifling reinforcement, action and reaction, concentration priority, better insight, better concentration, fire rate up, mental focus, expanded weapon charge, insight focus, and then here you can use any elemental based thing, or you can use weak point here, but that slot's going to be a little bit open for you guys, but that's why we're using it. And then for the actual effect, it has a unique ability called Gardener, which works really well with him. Whenever you use a dimensional skill, you have the ability to trigger some of your custom resource, and when you use a tech skill, which you will be spamming a ton of, you will have more stacks of damage for your firearm as well as your skill power. And that's why you want to use this specifically for the mobbing build, because it's going to give you a ton of damage while you're just blowing everything up constantly. But yeah, that's how this works. That's the purpose of the mobbing build. If you have any questions for the mobbing build, feel free to leave it down in the comment section. I'll respond to most comments as I do. Alright, so we are on the body enhancement build, and this is the bossing build. And first off, let's go over the stats, because I know you guys like a good amount of HP and defense, and this is a comfortable number. I really can't do better than this. I can't give you more HP than this. I can't give you more defense than this. You don't need more, to be quite frank, because nothing's going to break this except for Gluttony, but Gluttony is going to break everything. So this is going to give you a good stat spread. So you should be good. We're using Annihilation set because, to be quite frank, I don't think Ajax have a good set for him. So we're going to be using Fire Resistance, Max HP, MP Recovery in Combat, and Chill Resistance. This should 110% be better base max HP. I haven't been able to get Annihilation one. I'll probably farm it after this video because I like it to be perfect. But you want base mana on this if possible, and then resistance. And then defense, electric resistance is fine. And then toxin and max shield is fine here. But yeah, make sure you go get max MP. That's super important. For a reactor, I'm just using a dimensional skill power boost and skill duration up. It's just the best I got. It's just the best I got. I can't find anything else. I actually farmed so long and couldn't get anything. For the actual skills themselves, we're using body enhancement, obviously. Kicking, MP conversion, because we want the cooldown to maintain this as much as possible. This is going to have a 17-second cooldown. Our cooldowns increase with body enhancement, but of course we get the void thing where we can go instantly into it. And it has a duration of 25 seconds, so you will always have this off cooldown long before the cooldown expires, right? So it's really nice to have this. You got maximized range. I don't love putting range on his shields because AI likes to walk into them and shoot at them, but ultimately it doesn't matter too much because you can just go like this. It's a little mana hungry, and that's fine, but you can go like this. So if they walk in and shoot at you, they'll never like walk past you, right? They'll just stop in front of you and just shoot. So you'll still get the buff and you'll still be protected. It's just an AI problem that they need to fix, but yeah. I don't know why this huge Colossus with a gun walks into your face and shoots you with it. It's crazy to me. We got shot focus because shot focus is really powerful for Ajax. He is a weapon shooting descendant when you're playing bosses, and that is his only form of damage, so you need to build into it. So this plus your enhance will give you 25% firearm attack, which is a massive number. And if you're playing with any competent players, they will have shot focus in their build as well, and they'll be pretty strong, unless they're playing like Lepic or something. He can just blow them up. But yeah, that's pretty much what you need. And then we have HP amplification. I don't love this because it makes me lose my shields, but it does give a lot of HP. Personally, I wouldn't be using this. What I would be using is MP efficiency, skill, cost. This is what I would use personally, and I probably will put this in personally for me because I don't need that much HP. But if you do not need like 25k HP, which you don't, put in strong mentality. This is going to make the cost of things way easier to deal with. Next we have maximized conservation. This is going to give us way more skill costs, efficiency, and then we're going to lose power, but we're not using our skills when we're bossing, so it doesn't matter. We're using nimble fingers for, once again, cooldown. Increased defense for increased defense. We're using max shields once again because we want to have shielding. Shielding is super good. It's good for chip damage. I know players don't love using it, but shielding is actually really powerful. We're using increased HP because increased HP is really nice for staying alive. And then we're using skill expansion for more range for a shield so that it can hit our allies and they'll be good. That's pretty much the build. You have the ability to be tanky, not tank. The ability to be tanky with tons of defense, good amount of HP, and your skills are somewhat cost effective You have good AoE range, so your buff can be used on allies, so you can give one of the best buffs in the entire game, and you're just pretty much a pretty functional Descendant with good cooldowns. For the Passionate Sponsor build, this is going to be essentially my dungeon build from here on out because it does so much for my team. It got some changes on the shielding. It doesn't matter too much because, once again, when it comes to the dungeons, the amount of shield that you get is still great, but I used to get so much more shield and now I don't, and that's fine because I don't need as much, as I just said. But it did get some changes. I didn't change too much. I don't even actually know what I changed to it. I think I added shot focus. That was about it. But ultimately it's still a solid dungeon build because, again, being able to give your allies a ton of defense while also being able to refill their shields, except for Glay, obviously. You can keep their shield up time really high, which is really nice. And then for a dungeon, because like the dungeon bosses hit hard, but they don't hit hard enough to justify a full-fledged like defense build, and my shield is more than good enough to pretty much do that. And so with my current shield setup, I can easily increase my shields to like 7,800, and that's constantly regenerating by a large margin. And then when I'm enhancing it like this, I have like 10k shield with 12k HP, and anytime a boss decides to like hit me or do anything, I simply, because you know you're probably gonna use your shields and stuff to keep your allies alive in the dungeon, anytime enemy hit me, I'll just refresh my shield like that. And our mana efficiency is really good still, which is kind of nice. I'm a big fan of this. But yeah, that's what we're using right now for our dungeons. If you want to use it, feel free to use it that way. But matrix recomposition, kicking, increased defense, time distribution, increased HP, shot focus, nimble fingers, maximize conservation, skill expansion, increased shields, passionate sponsor, and amplification control. Really nice build. I'm a big fan of this. It's still my favorite build to play in the game. It did get a big hit on its shields, but for me personally, I'm still using this build most of the time. It's really nice. I really love it. But I play with people though, so they know to stand around me and let me use my buffs to make it so I deal a lot of damage and they stay alive. But for like normal, when you're playing with other people, you're probably gonna go with something like this, but no one pays attention. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. That's my updated Ajax video. I know I said I wouldn't make another one. This is my final one. Hopefully you guys like it. I tried to tailor it to you guys' desire to have a bunch of HP. It could be more efficient, but I know you guys want HP, so we built it that way. Either way, it is still a very solid build. You should have fun. Body enhancements, improvements are a massive W. I know people still view it as a nerf, but the increase in damage is so much more valuable than 10k HP. So that's how I see things. That's not going to ever change. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.